we get a chance to talk to James Conner, who's such an unbelievable man, and a story is they're tough sometimes to hear these things, but his is a success story. James, obviously at Pittsburgh running back, was the ACC Player of the Year in 2014, but then he was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma and missed most of the 2015 season. But now he's back, 2 straight 100-yard games, 1 touchdown in one of those games. And James joins us now here on Tiki and Tierney. Thanks for joining us this morning, James.
Thank you so much for having me, Tiki. It's awesome.
You know, sometimes we look at football as this lifeblood. It's this dream that we've had for so much of our lives. But for you, I mean, it literally saved your life because you got hurt, and it led to the discovery of your cancer.
Yeah, like you said, it was a blessing in disguise me getting hurt. So first game of the season, I was a true junior, and I was just, planning on having a huge year, and then I tore my MCL, and so after that, I'm recovering for that, and lifting weights and stuff. I noticed, and I started getting the symptoms, and getting very fatigued very easily, face is puffy, losing strength, sweating at night, and so I'm going to the team doctors and I'm asking. And we're trying all different types of things, prescriptions, this and that. And then I went to the ear, nose, and throat doctor because they thought it was a sinus infection. And so my sinuses were clear, and we got a chest X-ray, and I discovered a mass that was attached to my heart. And, then got the biopsy and found out it was Hodgkin's lymphoma, saying. So, it was, like you said, it was a blessing in disguise, though, for my knee.
And obviously you're thinking about your life, but did you ever think you'd be able to play again?
That was, part of it. That was one of my goals, was to get back there on the field. Obviously my health was, number one, but doing what I love to do was second, and I was getting back on the field. So there were scary moments, of course, because obviously nothing was promised with this. It wasn't 100% cure rate. So definitely scary thoughts like to creep in, but you got to push all those negative thoughts. You got to push them away.
Talking to James Conner, star running back of Pitt, with us here on Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio. I think this applies to life, and obviously as a football player, James, I think we all gain strength in numbers when we have good people around us. And, watching some of the documentaries around your recovery, I wonder how important was your team and your staff, all the teammates that really helped insulate you and protect you and pull you through this.
Man, I think, that's how I got through it, really, just having a whole support system, with my whole hometown of Erie, Pennsylvania, the whole hometown, where I'm at right now, and Pittsburgh, and just have, like you said, my teammates, having all those guys just being there to take my mind off things, to talk about other stuff and just be there when I needed to count on them, no matter what time it was, they were here for me, so, and I think that's very key, is to not go through this alone. So they were just so huge and played a critical role in my recovery.
My mom had breast cancer when I was in college, and I remember her not telling us a lot about it. She wanted to keep it away from us because she thought we'd do something rash, like leave school and come down and try to be with her. But when your family found out about this, how did they respond? Because obviously it's terrifying to hear that your son has cancer.
Yeah, that was, it was so close to Thanksgiving, and so, I didn't want to, ruin anybody's holiday, any of my ones that cared about me. But, man, that was one of the toughest things throughout my whole journey was, breaking the news to I got 4 blood brothers, and I'm the youngest of them all, actually. And so for my whole life, like they've been my security, and anything I ever need, I can go to them. But with this case, there's nothing they can do. None of them were doctors, and, so, I just calling them and telling them, breaking the news, they're crying and stuff, and they, big tough guys and stuff. But, they just told me, you know what you have to do. You got to fight through it. It's going to be okay. And, basically just told me I got to get through it. Really, that's all they can do. And, telling all my teammates, was very difficult because, I'm their leader. And so when they see their leader going down and stuff, it's just, it was very tough breaking the news to them, but it had to be done.
One of my good friends' son is a graduate at Pitt, and he keeps telling me about your story. And at the beginning of this year, he said, James is going to come back, and he's going to be stronger than ever. So far, 63 carries, 281 yards, 3 touchdowns. You're 2-1 on the season. When you took that first carry, what was your emotion?
Yeah, first game back, it was, a day I'll never forget. I didn't want to make it too much about me. I knew the cameras and all that kind of stuff, and people were anticipating the return and stuff. But it wasn't just me. I didn't want to make it about me. But it was definitely nice to, get the first carry again. I took it all in. Just the whole pregame meal, walking out the tunnel, the locker room talks and all that kind of stuff. It was just so awesome to get back into the rhythm and back doing what I do. So after the first carry, I was like, okay, that's out the way. way, and then it was just focusing on winning the game after that.
So to James Conner, star running back of Pitt. He's with us here on Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio. So let's face it, you're a star of the ACC, former ACC Player of the Year before all this went down, and one of the guys who I would imagine has designs on playing on Sundays. That dream's got to still be burning bright for you, huh?
Oh, of course. I hope that's my that's my ultimate goal. And so I just I had a little minor setback, but definitely every day. Just trying to win, and then obviously the NFL. Try to do what you did. Try to do what you do.
Yeah, it's one of those things that when you get there, it's one of the greatest blessings in the world. It's like your dream come true. But let's get back to Pitt. You had a great win a couple of weeks ago against Penn State, then a tough loss last week at Oklahoma State. How do you rebound against a very good North Carolina squad?
Same thing we do. Just play our game. Everybody got to do their own job. We watched the film. We had a great day at practice today, and just correcting all the mistakes, and just don't look back. You never like to lose any game, but it was an ACC game, so we still want to win our side and get to that championship game. So and ACC play opens up. So North Carolina, great team, and so we're just looking to go out there and get back on track, get back in the win column, and just do our job and come out victorious.
James Conner of Pitt with us here on Tiki and Tierney, CBS Sports Radio.
Yeah, I'm thinking about when I was back in college in the ACC, and the ACC doesn't get a ton of respect, especially when you throw it up against these SEC and even the Big Ten now. You went out and played a Big 12 powerhouse in Oklahoma State. You lost, but could this be a building block? How are you guys looking at that? Because you played well, and it went all the way down to the end.
Yeah, that was a great game. Different conference, of course, and great atmosphere there. Different type of offense we faced. But yeah, and I think the ACC, should get more respect, and we just, everybody just play their game, great. Louisville's doing great, and so this is a very tough conference, and we got a great schedule us personally ahead. So we just keep every game, representing our conference and represent our university well.
James, there's been a lot of really good running backs to come out of Pitt. Curtis Martin, clearly one of them, ran for my Jets and the Pats before that. I don't know if you know him, but he's kind of a different cat, and it's more about life than football. You ever look up to any of those guys? Because there's a good, strong history of pretty good backs and players to come out of your school, Pitt.
Of course, yeah. Coming out of high school, I had about three or four offers, and Pitt was the biggest school. And then they called and told me they want me to play running back. And then, like you said, I just started thinking about the great tradition and the history here. And I'm like, oh man, I'm all for that. And I did get a chance to meet Curtis Martin. He was at our spring game 2 years ago. And yeah, very quiet, humble guy. Like you said, it doesn't seem like he cares much about football, but he's amazing at it. There's more than the game to him. So, but yeah, Sean McCoy, Tony Dorsett, all those great guys that have been through here, and so I'm just trying to, fill those shoes.
James, you're an inspiration, brother, and it's an honor to get a chance to hear your story. Good luck going forward to you and the Panthers. We'll be wishing you all the success, my friend.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.